Did you expect it? No, but it's back. Here we are with my boy Andrew. My boy Andrew, say hi.
Hello again.
That's him. Look at you acting all normal. Like 30 seconds ago, he was on Twitter like, hold on, I saw some titties.
Look at these tinnies.
Anyway, Steel Ball Run. What we read up to? What chapter was it?
Oh God, I forgot what chapter we read up to.
Mrs. Someone showed up.
Mrs. Robinson.
Who? Yeah, clear. Yeah.
It's from the song I think from Simon Garfunkel. 'Cause here's you, Mrs. Robinson. That one.
See, this is why I need Andrew for JoJo reviews. He's cultured. I respect it.
Yeah, you freaking weed.
Yeah. Ooh. When do JoJo stands start having to be named after anime songs? That'd be filth.
I still don't know about Pocoloco's stand or his name.
It's true.
So.
But yeah, no, we've read up to basically we went through the whole first trial. They got to the abandoned church. Mm-hmm. We saw the murders and like the weird, not intestines, but actually ropes. Yada yada yada.
Looking at them closer, I think they are intestines.
I don't know why they're
not.
I think
the translation was weird.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, I think they very specifically said they're not intestines. So I don't know. We'll see.
So we learned, about some characters. So there's Pocoloco. There's Johnny Joestar.
Mm-hmm. Best paraplegic boy.
Gyro Sapelli or Euro Sapelli, depending on how you say it.
Euro for the tasty snack.
Sandman, he's interesting.
Sandman, full sprint, bro. Like that's
no
respectable.
Horse just using his own 2 feet. That is
some would say full tilt too, because like he is literally just like horizontally running.
He's about like.
You can't see it, audience,
degrees,
but he's like moving.
Degrees.
He's moving his hand to show the tilt. So essentially, there's a whole ass like half chapter explaining like, all right, here's why he's so good at running. It's because he's like always pushing back. Like when you land on your foot,
ball of his feet.
Yeah, there's this whole strat that he has. It's great. So yeah, he is awesome. Yep. It's really interesting because I guess just we're gonna be sporadic, obviously, just like talking about everything we read. But like, when it comes to I don't know, just in general, what Araki seems to be doing is he's like really. He's not opening it up immediately with the wackiness. Like, there's wackiness sprinkled here and there. But, like, I think I got spoiled by part 6 and how wacky it was.
Right.
And I had to keep reminding myself, oh, no, the wacky will come. It's a slow build-up because, like, there's plenty of moments where I'm like, all right, oh, God, there's going to be, like, a fucking slaughter. Oh, no, it's actually just pretty normal horse racing.
Oh, it's pleasant.
Except for this, it's pleasant. Right. It's so pleasant. Yeah, and then, of course, he pulls out a fucking, like, steel ball, as the name suggests.
Right.
And the shit he's doing with the steel ball is pretty cool. You want to talk about the steel ball, Andrew?
Like, he can use the echoes, not echoes, but, like, the vibrations or something to see behind objects. He threw it at a boulder and was able to see in the dust a cactus field, which he's like, nope, I'm gonna lead this person into it.
Fucked up Avdol immediately. You thought alternate universe Avdol was gonna be important? Nope. Sorry.
He dead. Yeah. Well, eliminated, retired, but not dead.
Yeah, not dead.
Then there's Diego.
I'm curious. Yeah, right. Because like we haven't really seen.
Yeah. So far, he's just a damn good horse racer.
And a Brit who is very like, but I'm Brit. How can I be losing to these Americans?
I should be first.
It's interesting because he's got the Dio name, right? And if you're going to give him the Dio name, he's got a lot to live up to. So, like, he's got to eventually be doing some wild shit.
He's obviously got the smarts as previous Dios, but...
Well, all he's done so far is do some Mario Kart drifting, which I got to hand it to Andrew. He called it immediately. Like,
I'm like, nah, they're not going to include that.
He's drifting behind a horse.
Not drifting, but what was it called?
Like getting in the air pocket.
Yeah.
So, like, you go faster. I don't know does that really work on horses? Like, is the air pocket...
Slipstream, that's what it's called.
Is the slipstream really, like... substantial enough on a horse that's going like 30 miles per hour?
I mean, depending on how like the rider is positioned, maybe, but again, I don't think that's really valid.
Yeah. Well, the other shit we saw from Dio is that he's like obsessive to the point where he's like, your horse, when it breathes 8 times, it leans to the left.
The habits of the horses, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, see, I want to meet a guy like that in real life who like notices every little thing I do and makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, when you breathe and you snort when you laugh and you whenever you're leaning up against a wall, you lean to the left at a 32-degree angle. It's like, stop, bro. That'd be interesting.
Red, you breathe. You're a weeb.
Yeah, you breathe. You're a thought. Let's see.
Let's see who else. But yeah, what I'm thinking about Gyro's steel balls.
Yeah, I've got balls of steel.
Right. Yeah. Is the fact that he's using Hamon.
Yes.
I think
Andrew
they're bringing
blew my
Hamon
fucking
back.
mind with that shit. I was like, it makes perfect sense, and I fucking love that, by the way, because it'd be easy to just make it a stand, because Araki's set up this like whole thing where he can literally make anything a stand. Like a goddamn rock was a stand in part 5. It's just a fucking rock that rolls around and fucks with you.
Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone. And so like at first I was like, oh, maybe it's like his stand is just this fucking these balls. I don't know, but like it's a lot cooler to imagine that he just got like these custom made heavy ass steel balls, and he's just fucking with a Hamon.
Yeah.
Like that's a great, and it makes sense because you see some of the stuff he does. He fucks with the champagne bottles.
He used them to basically make
sail.
wind and sails out of his cape, and that was awesome.
Well, I imagine he's rotating the ball so fucking quickly that it's like, because I mean, like, it seems small and not substantial, but like there's studies, not even studies, there's proof, like in like a hurricane force wind, like a piece of straw can like pierce a tree. So like it makes sense if you rotate this ball quick enough, it would do that.
And the thing is, like, he's able to rotate it on skin to like
activate like muscles.
Yeah, to make the horse go faster. He helped.
I don't know why, but I just thought of that meme, like, haha, horse go brr. Haha, ball go spin.
Oh my god.
The meme would be like, but the doctor told me I could never walk again. My spine is crushed. Ball go spin.
I was actually going to mention that in my next part, where he actually...
Love that
Where
shit.
Johnny actually...
Loving Johnny.
Yeah. Accidentally touched the ball and was able to stand for a
like a little tiptoe there.
Very minuscule second, and then he was able to sit back down. He's like, what the hell?
Yeah, and I mean, makes sense, if you've been paralyzed, what do you say, 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
You've been paralyzed 2 years, and you stand for a second, you're like, well, I'm following you to the end of the fucking earth, what the fuck?
I want to learn.
Gives me Doctor Strange vibes, as I said to him earlier. It's like the teach me moment. And it's cool because all it really took was that first, like, little segment to really gain... like Zappelli's trust. Yeah, and now they're kind of bros. Yeah. Even to the this last chapter we read, he kind of goes off. He goes off like to this other angle, and he's just like, everyone's like, "You're crazy. You're gonna die that way." And then he's like, "Oh, I'm coming with you." And he's like, "Oh, you want to come, bro? You ready? Let's go."
You all right? Cool. Come on.
Yeah, I love that shit. But yeah, how do you? I'm trying to think. So I'm curious to learn more about how that is working. Like my take on it was like kind of like reflexes. Like if you like hit your knee in a weird way, it'll kick. Like the muscles are still there. Although I would say that it's important to recognize that if you're paralyzed, yes, the muscles are still there, but they're going to be like degrading or like degenerating. I don't know what the word is for it, but like that would like I don't know if you've ever seen. I'm pretty sure this. I mean, I can speak for when my arm broke.
Right.
When I had my arm broken, it was like in a cast for like at least a half a year. When that shit came out of the cast, it was so like I had to keep replacing the cast because my arm was shrinking.
Right.
And like you got to rebuild that muscle. So like I can't imagine he has too much muscle left in his legs.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're gonna get to a point where it's like, yeah, you are paralyzed, you can't feel anything down there, but we're gonna have to come up with a way for you to like build back up your muscle. I'm just
wondering if like the steel ball, when he touched it, there was something that kind of like reattached ligaments, and
I mean,
I don't know, because like that was some weird. There had to be some kind of like explanation like later on or something.
Yeah, Hamon is like, because obviously we only saw part 1, part 2, right? That's all we know about Hamon, if it is Hamon, and I do like that theory.
Right.
And like all we really know about Hamon is that like, I don't know. See, it was one of those things that like could do everything, it was like it works with breathing, and you can do like this with it and that with it, and like.
Well, if you remember,
like,
the first
rules?
season or whatever.
I remember
what was it? I was gonna say, like, he punched the frog. The frog was fine, but then the rock underneath it just shattered. So there's some theory or method to it.
Well, I remember the thing that annoyed me about Hamon in the first part and even the second part was that it really was never like clearly defined. Like I had no idea what the fuck it was or what it did.
Then again, Haraki was just starting
for
out
sure,
with it.
Not holding it against him at all. So,
Right,
but like if we're looking at it now in part 7 here, if it is Hamon, I guess I want to know. Yeah.
Hopefully he's had more time to think it through and be like, all right, this is how it's gonna work. This is the specifics of how it goes down.
Yeah, and like I know in part 3 specifically, because obviously Joseph used Hamon occasionally in part 3, and wasn't it like an electricity looking effect? Wasn't it always
kinda? Yeah. Like he at one point wrapped his stand around and also Hamon, so it's like an electrified area for Dio, and Dio's like, "You son of a bitch, you tried to bait me."
So like I wonder if there is like an electrifying element to it that would also be able to fuck with your muscles too. I mean that's class
stimulus and everything.
Like, that's what Kilo does with his like Godspeed. Like he puppets his muscles with like he just jumps. You know what I mean? So like
there's a lot of elements to it that we need to figure out.
Or like in Bleach, Uryu, the Quincy's had a technique called Ranso Tengai, which was like where they made little like puppet strings out of their Reiatsu, or the spirit particles around them.
I think I remember that.
So like remember there was in fact it's actually quite poignant because Mayori paralyzes him because his Shikai's ability was to paralyze you but keep the pain receptors intact. So he paralyzes him and then he's able to puppet himself. And then it's used again in the final arc of Bleach by one of the other Quincy's who gets literally like a hole blasted through his like fucking like stomach, and he's like, well, I can keep walking. And they can just literally fight until they're like literally brain dead. Like they can be like corpses. So I wonder. I want like a Hunter x Hunter level detail explanation of like how this is working here, because again I like how Araki really did bait me here because like, it made me think in the beginning I'm like this is just a magic steel ball, and now I'm like actually no, it's actually more impressive. It's just it's a couple heavy ass balls that he probably had made, and he uses them in unique ways by applying Hamon, and that's cool as shit. Yeah, I'm hoping that's what it is.
If it's Hamon, because that'd be kind of weird if like every time he took them out of the satchels that they're in, that they just instantly spin. So that's curious to me.
Yeah, I've almost completely accepted that as headcanon at that point. Like it's I don't, because it's just perfect. Like that makes way more sense than it being a stand.
Then there's the fact of where Gyro Zapelli came from.
Yep. So look into him. And what did we learn about him again? What they said
he came from
Italy.
I think Italy, but sure he's royalty or something.
Connected to
connected to royalty, I believe.
Connected to royalty in some way.
And
they were like, well, why would a royal or rich person at all join this? And it makes sense. I mean, all of his teeth are fucking gold. The man is rocking it.
Where it says Go-Go Zapelli, which is amazing.
Go-Go. Yeah, that's, bro, the cosplay potential is strong. Like, every time I read JoJo, I'm, like, looking for cosplay material. Like I live to be, like, the weirdest, most outlandish-looking motherfucker at a con. Like, it's
Mountain Tim.
Mountain Tim. Mountain Tim is the whitest, most... like
stereotypical... like American cowboy. I will search for you, sheriff. Don't you worry about a thing.
When I first saw him, literally the first panel he showed up in, I was like, that is the whitest motherfucker in the world. He's the white, he's blonde, he's got blue eyes.
He's got the the cow print, like hat, cow print, spats, and oh my god.
And then like my favorite part, it's such an Arakiism. He shows up to like of course, first of all, of course the cops trust him. Like cops are like, who's the whitest motherfucker around? Oh, you? Most trustworthy, absolutely.
I've known him for so long. He's a very close friend of mine, Sheriff. You can count on him.
Even when he tried to fuck my wife, I just let him because he's fucking Tim.
Huh.
Also, we'll get to the 14-year-old wife. Oof.
Yeah,
large oof.
The creator of this whole spectacle, this whole deal of the Steel Ball
He's
Run.
He's a weirdo. Yeah, let's talk about him now.
He has a 14-year-old wife, apparently. That we didn't really know about until, like, what, 2-3 chapters in?
Well, it's just like,
First
she's
chapter?
there, and I'm like, well, it could just be like an art style. I thought she looked a little young, and then some random motherfucker's like, hey, by the way, bro, I hear your wife's 14. What the fuck?
Like, Brad and I were like, wait, no,
what was his,
hold on
What
now.
was his response to that again? I wish I remembered.
He's like, nope, no more questions. This is supposed to be out the thing. It's like, oh my god.
So, like, is that just a Rocky? Because I mean, I imagine, I don't know for sure, but I imagine the fucking laws involving that shit were very different back in the 1800s. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I imagine there was a stigma against it, like, because they're like, that's weird, but like maybe it's like one of those like, that's weird, but hey, it's not illegal. So I have no idea. Hey man, times be changing.
That shit's weird.
For sure. What else though? But also, I didn't want to. I want to get back to him, but there's one last thing about Cowboy Tim. Is that what his name is? Mountain Tim. That's way better. Mountain Tim is so respected by nature that when he approaches, the horses bow down.
The horses bow when they know he is near.
That's my favorite.
It's like, are you shitting
The
me?
forces of nature recognize him as the true fucking god of the verse that he is.
We're just waiting until he's brutally murdered.
Oh, it's gonna be beautiful. And in fact, I hope it's Dio. Like Dio needs something to do.
He's getting too close.
Dio's like, horses don't bow for me, and I'm fucking Dio.
I should be number one.
Yeah, exactly. That's his whole thing.
I am the horse jockey boy.
Anything you can do, I should be able to do better. Just by nature. Yeah, so Cowboy Tim is interesting. I keep calling him Cowboy Tim. God damn it.
Mountain Tim.
Mountain Tim. There's no mountains. I've yet to see him on a mountain.
He came from the mountains, I thought.
You're probably right. Yeah.
I know.
No, you're probably right.
Oh, we know Sandman has a stand, but we don't know...
Something sand related, obviously, yeah.
Because when he presented the emerald to the one dude...
He like made the sand go in his eyes. And I made the joke, it's like Iggy. What was it Iggy's called again? The Fool?
The Fool, yeah.
The Fool. So, I don't know.
So...
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's supposed to be like the Iggy of the parallel world, though.
I feel like Sandman's is going to be a little bit more useful.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because Iggy's was more of deceit and defensive.
The fact that it was made out of sand was very inconsequential. I think this is going to be more like actually related to the fact that it's sand.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So like some Gara shit, probably. Crocodile from One Piece, maybe.
And the thing is, you don't really know who to root for in this.
Oh, yeah.
In this race, because there's Sandman who has a hate towards the white man, but
fully justified probably too,
and he also wants to win that money so that he can get back the land.
Yep.
Of his tribe.
He's woke as fuck. In fact, it's interesting. The series starts with him, like not Gyro. It starts with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, because they're like getting on him, like you're reading the literature of the white man and you're tainting our culture and they're trying to kill him.
No, I'm reading to know the enemy, basically.
Yeah. And so he's kind of woken up. He's like, listen, if we keep fighting back the white man with our antiquated ways, we're gonna lose. And I know they worship money. Money is the new god, and if I get the money, then we're safe.
Yeah. And then it goes to Gyro Zappelli, and you learn a little bit about him, ish. We're still learning about him.
Mysterious boy.
And then there's Johnny Joestar, who used to be, the top of the top for horseback racing, and then he got paralyzed.
Politicians,
And then he got the, celebrity stuff to his head.
Essentially what happened to the celebrity shit went to his head. He had and obviously Iraqi is known for writing thoughts.
Yeah.
Like the thoughts are plentiful,
Yeah.
and in fact it makes me think that he's had bad relations with women, because like there's an unbelievable amount of just absolute bitches. So she's doing that like, get me in the front of this line. If you don't, fuck you.
And then he paid for the kid to go away, even though he was in the front.
And that kid was clearly fucking mentally disturbed, by the way,
and shot
right in the spine.
And then once Johnny was shot and hospitalized, no one visited him because he's worthless now.
It's so fucking real, man. And then he realized, oh wait a minute, all of these friends I had. This is an important life lesson, seriously. All of the friends he had in that situation, everyone that admired him or whatever, it was never because of who he was. It was never like, we like your personality. No, it was because of this talent he had that got him status. Yeah. So, like, always make sure, people, like, the friends that are around you, like, think about it for a second. Like, are they friends with you because you're great at a video game? Or, like, really, you make a lot of money? Or if you fucking became a vegetable, but you still had you were still your personality, would they stay around you? And if that answer is no, it's probably not your friend.
Yeah.
So that's I love that shit. And you can tell that really changed him, because it's interesting, because I do think he's probably going to have a Doctor Strange-like character arc, because he's still obviously, like, he's not fully like woke, as I would say, yet, because he's still like obsessed about getting his legs back, which makes me think he is holding onto the past a bit. You know, like he's like obsessive about like getting this like his legs back and then getting his talent back. It reminds me of like Zuko, you know, like he wanted to get his pride back,
his honor,
you know, but that wouldn't really bring him happiness. I have a feeling, and then I'll get to your thought in a second here. I have a feeling that even if he got his legs back and he got all that shit back, he would kind of feel empty because somewhere in the back of his head he'd know, well, this is all fake. Y'all left me and now you're back.
I feel like part way through the race, he's not even gonna care about his legs anymore.
It's gonna become about the journey. And the
journey and learning with Gyro and being friends with Gyro and everything. And then you know, if there's gonna be enemies attacking them, then he's gonna worry more about that over his legs.
I'm so excited to see how he's gonna fight. Like when because he's obviously gonna get a stand. He's the JoJo.
Oh yeah.
And the man is paralyzed. So like, is he always gonna have to be on the horse, or is he gonna get like? Because if he gets a stand, could he walk with his stand legs? I don't know. I mean,
it's hard to say.
Or would he be like? I don't even know. Maybe he could pull like a because wait, we can kind of answer that because
part 4.
Polnareff.
Oh, Polnareff?
Polnareff, he was in a wheelchair still, even though he had his stand, remember?
Yeah.
So he should honestly just do what fucking Polnareff did, is like use his stand to like fucking rocket his wheelchair to the air. Remember part 5 when he was fighting Diavolo?
Yeah, that was great.
Wow.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's anything else that I want to talk about here. Just, you know, good. It's fun to see a manga focus on this horse racing thing. It's very unique.
It's just, it's really interesting to see a race, you know, like Rat Race and you know, Smoking the Bandit kind of races and everything, you know, like it's interesting seeing that in a manga.
Oh, definitely.
You know,
it's something I've never seen in a manga before.
And then, you know, with stand powers, and what I'm hoping for is, you know, Hamon. It's gonna be, you know, a good old Wild West meets stranger than fiction kind of stuff.
I'm excited for like the crazy fights to start, because that's what I think out of everything, that's what's been missing so far from this part. Is like
got an important bit.
Yeah, I'm sure we did.
Where the beginning of the stands came from. Oh, the meteor.
Yep. Right, which obviously aligns with the last universe too. And the Emerald Caves. Space. Where's? Oh, I wanted to get that clip up, but damn it!
Don't do it.
Tim Curry. Space.
Tim Curry.
I'm going to escape to the one place.
I'm gonna escape to the one place. Space.
Space.
Sorry, I channeled my inner snake.
Inner snake. Okay, stop.
Only I'm allowed.
Yeah, only you're good. He's got official David Hayter approval.
Hey, you're pretty good.
He actually met David Hayter at a con.
Hell yeah.
And he told him he was pretty good in the snake voice. It was good shit. But yeah, so I guess for this part, I'm looking forward to it. I think, like I said, like the JoJo staple up until now, and it's fine if he wants to change it. I'll just be curious how he goes about it. But like up until now, like what you can always kind of look forward to in JoJo is like multi-chapter long, incredibly complex battles. And I'm curious, like, if we're gonna get to that point where like they're racing, but then they're having like really complex stands. Because obviously we're getting to it through. We got to get them all like to learn their stands, right? So like eventually, like, you know, Johnny's got to get his stand. Maybe I don't know if Gyro might literally just be a Hamon guy.
I'm curious about that.
He might be like, fuck that stand shit. I gotta do whatever I need to with his Hamon and his
also,
balls.
You know, we're gonna be meeting a lot of people along the way, so there's gonna be a lot of perhaps stand users, perhaps just normal people, just that they're all gonna meet and, you know, see along the way. So it's gonna be interesting learning about them and seeing how they interact with the characters.
It's exciting when a mangaka like tries to mix and meld two fighting styles together, because like in One Piece they have devil fruits and then they have hockey,
right?
And when they're used in like tandem, it's really cool, right? Because you set up, okay, here's the rules of devil fruits,
right?
And then like here's how you can enhance it with hockey. So like eventually Luffy, I'm sure you've heard about it enough, because I know you're not there yet, but like he gets a gear 4th. And like the only way that that's possible is by using the hardening hockey. It like helps him like do something with his rubber and stretching this, and basically so like there's this whole explanation of like how gear 4th works, and it's only because he has hockey, right?
Neat.
Yeah, so like I love it when manga do that, because it's a really cool way to like make different things possible without them feeling like ass pulls.
Right.
So like I'm excited to see how you can like, and the only time I really saw that was part 3, like where you with Joseph. With Joseph, who was able to, he was the one guy in the whole goddamn series that mixed Hamon and his stand.
Because like he was from the generation that knew about Hamon.
Young kids and their goddamn stands.
I mean, that's kind of how it was, yeah. And then Dio was the only other person that knew about it because of how old he was. He's like, oh, son of a bitch. You still have Hamon. But that doesn't really work out of me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love that.
It's nice seeing Hamon back, hopefully.
It better be. Like, I'm so fucking determined on that idea now. And like, imagine for like half the series if Gyro is like, yeah, I'm the Hamon guy, I don't need a stand, and then he gets a stand somehow. Like, I don't know, some little bit of meteorite. I don't even know how the fuck they're gonna do it, but like, then that'd be cool as hell. Like, if we watched him fight a certain way for this long time, and then he gets a stand on top of that, we'd be like, oh, that's cool as hell.
It's gonna be interesting seeing them fight either on horseback or on the ground.
They might have to take
like
breaks.
Because they're gonna have to camp out for days on end.
Maybe like during the camping, when they get to the water hole that they're going to,
Well, it depends on if they get to a water hole.
100 fucking miles. Wow.
So yeah,
I'm excited.
Me too.
I guess that's peace.
JoJo's back.
JoJo's back.
JoJo.